On Gravitas Snapshot tonight, we make you meet Ashwin Ramaswami. Who is that? Well, he is the first Gen Z Indian American to run for a state or federal legislature in the United States. And he has been making headlines, naturally. How old is he? 24 years old. And by the way, if elected, he would be the first Gen Z state senator in Georgia. So what do we know about him? To start with, Ashwin Ramaswamy is a second-generation Indian American. His parents moved to the United States from the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu. This was back in the 1990s. Ashwin Ramaswamy completed his undergraduate studies in computer science from Stanford University. His professional background basically includes software engineering, election security, technology law, also policy research. He, in fact, has worked with non-profits and startups. He also worked with state and local election offices. Basically, he has had a career in software engineering, election security, technology, law, policy research, and now he has thrown his hat in the ring. What made him enter the world of politics? WION spoke to Ashwin Ramaswamy and we asked him this very question, and this is what he told us.
I think it's really important in politics to make sure that people from all different backgrounds are represented. That's how we make policy that works for everyone. I used to work in software engineering. I was over at Stanford in computer science, but I soon realized the need for more people with technical knowledge in the government. When I worked in the federal government in cybersecurity and election security, and I soon realized that we need people in politics who understand these issues and can address the issues of the future. That's why I decided to join politics and serve my hometown in Johns Creek, Georgia.
Ramaswamy is a Democrat. And who is he up against? Incumbent Republican Shawn Still. His name might ring a bell. And for those of you who might not be aware, Shawn Still was indicted with the former President of the United States, Donald Trump, for the January 6, 2021 insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. So what is Ashwin Ramaswamy focusing on? What is his campaign all about? From quality education, access to healthcare, reproductive rights, Ashwin Ramaswamy is focusing on all of this and more. In fact, here's what he shared with us.
Our focus is going to be on three main issues. One is education, two is economy, and three is public safety. What that means is we want to make sure we fully fund our system. We're paying our teachers. We also want to make sure that we have more opportunities for entrepreneurship, more technology education, and finally, making sure that we have safer communities, access to healthcare, and reproductive rights.
The one question as far as Gen Z and politics are concerned is about how politically aware and involved they are, also how politically invested they really are. Being from that generation, Ashwin Ramaswamy strongly believes that by being successful at such a young age, only 24 years old, he can show what kind of a change they can bring about and that they can have that kind of a voice and to have a good future.
Yes, people are very politically aware, particularly my generation. We have lived through the policies that have happened over the past couple of years throughout our lives. We've seen the impact on how underfunding education and all these issues have caused, and we are very aware. I think the problem is we're not empowered to act on it. It's really hard when you are young in your 20s to actually go and run for political office, which is why I want to be an example and show the way so that more folks like me can have a voice as well.
The Indian American strongly believes in thinking about where his family comes from and the values. And what did he have to say about Indian culture? I'm going to leave you with this response.
My parents came to the US in the 1990s. Both of them came from Tamil Nadu. My mom is from Chennai and my dad is from Coimbatore. And I've always been very much connected to Indian culture, whether that's through religion, through Hinduism, reading ancient texts, or learning Sanskritam, whether it's through language, like learning Tamil as well, or just learning about the history of Indian Americans in the US and everything they've done.
And next, we have a story about Tinder. Yes, the dating app Tinder. And you may not want to swipe right. Why is that? Because the platform has made it all the more difficult to make a profile. British users will now need to verify their identities not simply by uploading selfies, but by showing an authorized ID proof. I'm talking about your passport and your driving license. What would Tinder ask for next? Your social security number? Pardon my joke, but it is funny imagining that one needs a passport to date, to fall in love. But that is what it has actually come down to. What can Tinder do? It's only trying to address its users' troubles by introducing these rules. The dating app has been repeatedly targeted by fraudsters, after all. They are known as catfish. For those who don't know, catfish are scammers. They create a fake online persona to lure unsuspecting people into a relationship and then con them for their money. That is, if they are slightly lucky. Some people have paid with their lives. Just Google Tinder murders and you will get a flurry of reports. Unfortunately, dating platforms like Tinder have become a pond for these catfish. It has been very easy for people to pretend to be someone they are not online. A fake profile picture, a witty bio, some quirky pickup lines, that's all it takes to get a match and slide into someone's inbox. And the next thing we know, there is a romance fraud. That is, a person is cheated for money. And thanks to the stigma around this, many shy away from even reporting the crime. So here's Tinder's solution. Whip out your passport or bring in your driver's license. Upload a recent photo and get bestowed with a verification badge. It's all optional, by the way. You can choose to not verify your identity. But if you don't get any matches, Tinder is not to blame. The verification system has been in place in Australia and New Zealand, in fact, since last year. And data shows that those who chose to be verified were far more likely to get a match. 67% to be precise. You see, it's a dilemma. Users are faced with a choice between their privacy and their safety. What to do? Give away your personal details and enjoy meeting verified users like yourself, or protect your data from Tinder but run the risk of being catfished? You certainly cannot enjoy both. And what about the troubles of small talk, situationships, ghosting? Well, let's save that for some other time. You have bigger fish to fry. But it's not just India. Farmers around the world, like I said, are angry. From Spain to Hungary, from Greece to France, there has been an unprecedented surge in the farmers' uprising around the world. In Greece, farmers descended on the capital, parking tractors in front of the Greek parliament. This is their biggest protest yet over rising costs. Reports saying, in fact, that at least 8,000 farmers with 130 tractors joined the protest in Athens. Their grievances are similar to the farmers in France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Poland, Italy. High energy prices and production costs, as well as climate change-driven weather, have affected the agriculture sector. For weeks, in fact, farmers have been staging brief blockades of roads and border crossings. Their unions have been negotiating with the government for more financial aid and other relief measures. And so far, the Greek government has offered discounts on power bills. It has also said that it is willing to discuss a more permanent tax rebate scheme, but that there is no chance of further concessions this year. The farmers basically say it is not enough, and they have vowed to push for more and are expected to decide on their next moves. For now, they have left the Greek capital after a night of protest. In Spain, hundreds of farmers drove their tractors towards the Madrid city center, demanding protection and better prices for their products. Farmers say rules to protect the environment make them less competitive as compared to other regions. On to Hungary now. Farmers there are protesting against constraints imposed on them by the European Union measures to tackle climate change. Not only that, they are protesting the suspension of import duties on Ukrainian exports for another year until June 2025. You see, the inflow of Ukrainian goods into bordering countries has been a point of contention for Eastern Europe's farmers. Import duties were originally suspended in 2022 to support Ukraine's economy amid the war. Ukraine's war with Russia has hit shipments via the traditional Black Sea route. In Poland as well, farmers protested at the Ukrainian borders. They have protested against the European Union and its president, Ursula von der Leyen. Farmers in France, Belgium, Portugal, Germany have also been protesting against the EU's Green Deal.